Prospect.
Knicks and Bruises, we are back. Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black is time. I got my guy Sim in the building. Uh, First off, apologies. You know what I mean? I've been on vacation, celebrate my daughter's birthday. Her Christmas gift ended up being the tickets to Kendrick Scissor concert. Had a blast out there with her, and yeah, man, had to take a little break, but we back. We back. So appreciate you guys always checking in with me. Shout
Okay.
out to y'all. What up, Sim?
Chilling,
Thank
man. Appreciate
appreciate
it.
appreciate you jumping on with me. I see you was on a little hiatus as well, but
Yeah.
look like you back too. So welcome back.
On a little, sometimes things get crazy,
Yeah,
but by the end of the summer, I mean, I'll be on my thing over the summer, but by the end of the summer, I'll really be settled down. September, really be settled in. You know what I'm saying?
it's gonna be some plans too, but
Yeah.
we'll
You
talk
know,
about.
so sometimes transition, you got to go through a few things with transition, but it's all right.
Yeah, just gotta get up with the queen now. You know what I mean? Get things back in order, and we be back to business. But yeah, let's talk about this draft. We just did your show. You spoke about the possibility of Jason Kidd and potentially, having to attach assets to attach assets to go get him.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about this pick that we have, in the second round, the possibility of potentially attaching assets to maybe move up, the
Hmm.
target a couple of guys that I'm interested in that's still available. Um, but I want to ask you a couple questions about this. First off, let me start by saying, if there's been one, not one, but one of the bright spots under the tenure of Leon Rose has been his drafting, right? Not necessarily having lottery picks or high draft picks, but
Yeah.
figuring out and finding some diamonds in the rough. Some guys that have some talent above their draft status. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Front office
Um,
has done a great job doing that.
so yeah, I feel like he is on the hot seat. You know what I mean, for this coaching search, but right now he's right in his wheelhouse. You know what I mean. He should be a little bit comfortable where he sit right now
Yeah.
for this pick.
Yeah.
Um,
He's on the hot seat, and that coach is on the hot seat. I mean, that seat is already on
it's
fire.
it's already burning, just sitting there waiting for somebody to sit
Already
down.
on fire.
Oh, that's a fact. But before I get to some of the targets that I am interested in, and I know you haven't really followed the NCAA tournament or the college scene
Yeah.
this year, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you as much insight that I can on some of these guys.
Okay.
Pardon me for the butchering of some of these guys' names. You know what I mean? But I'll spell them out just to be safe, so you guys can look them up. And then for the chat, anybody got any names out there that you think we should be targeting that's available? Let us know. We could do a little bit of research between today and tomorrow, and I know you're doing the show, so we talk about it. You could talk about some of it then. Um, but yeah, my question to you though is there a need? Is there a fit that you're even looking for at this point in the draft? Right now we got the 50th pick, or is it really best player available at this point? In the second round.
I think you do go best player, most potential at this point. Eh, You know what I'm saying? And maybe you get a guy that is able to surprise, shock some people. I think you go. I think you try to get as much potential as possible.
So when you say potential, are you looking at long term or are you looking potential to contribute immediately?
I'm looking long term.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I think we got guys like Kolick and Dadier. I think we got those guys who we can look at and hope that they're going to contribute next year. You know what I mean? They should have. They've been through through the G League and in the league for a year. They're gonna have a year of development. I mean, a summer of development. And hopefully they'll come back ready. At least one of those guys, one or two of them, come back ready to contribute. To the
It,
team. So hopefully we get some players out of that, and then we get another guy that we can kind of stash and grow.
it's interesting you mentioned Kolick and Dadier because I think the argument can be made that Huck Porty and McCullough may be even more ready to contribute immediately than those two. So
Could be,
I,
yeah.
I just say that to say that there's four young guys that are potentially ready to jump right in and take a larger role in the rotation moving forward. So shout out to Almighty Finesse. He got three names up there: J.R. Lewis, Jameer Watkins, and Kobe Sanders. I know Kobe Sanders was definitely one of the people that I wanted to target. Um, I have the best available players up for ESPN just so I could get their names. Uh, ADOU Veros. This is a power forward out of Arkansas. I've been watching his videos for about a week now. I'm gonna just give you the 6'7". He's from, pardon me, wrong guy, because I believe he's 6'6". Yeah, 6'6", 218 pounds.
Power forward.
They got him as a power forward. I think he could play some three as well. But watching his videos, I'm like, oh man, this guy looked like OG out there. He looked like a athletic OG. Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna throw the name out there and tell you guys go ahead and check out his his highlights and stuff. But reading the strengths and weaknesses, I'll start with the weaknesses. Someone stuck between the forward position. He's a work in progress with his skill set level, feel for the game, and defensive engagement. He struggles to make shots consistently and missed most of the pre-draft workout with the lingering knee issue. Uh, so obviously that doesn't sound great, but those are the weaknesses. Hopefully that knee thing lingering is not another comparison that you can make about OG with the injury sets. But from what I saw from the highlight, it looked like he played passing lanes pretty well. A lot of his fast break offense were off steals. He doesn't seem super polished, but he's a guy that can continue to grow over his time in college. Here's his strengths. Perhaps the most explosive player in the draft, and that was one of the things that I was noticing from the beginning. Like whether he got to work on the defensive or not, when he's playing defense and when he's attacking the rim off those steals, he's jumping up there and throwing it down on people on the break. I think he would fit in great there. We need some athleticism. That's one thing we're missing on this team. Let's see. An event creator defensively, and that's again another similarity to OG. Where OG says I'm a defensive playmaker. I'm assuming that's what they mean when they say an event creator defensively, who is a significant mismatch, attacking a straight line and open court, draws fouls in bunches, finishes in highlight reel fashion. So yeah, they got him projected at the 5th pick in the 2nd round. So again, he's out of our range. We would have to move up to go get him.
That's what, number 36? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 35. Philadelphia.
So actually, pardon me, they got him 4th.
4th because
Yeah.
of Charlotte.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we can move up. I don't know who's those first couple of picks in the second round.
So it's Minnesota, number 31. Boston is 32. With what Boston is doing right now, I don't think they're
And I would think they might grab him.
right. They might. Their stake. They're definitely using that pick. Charlotte is 33. Charlotte's at 34. Philly's at 35. Brooklyn's at 36. Detroit 37. San Antonio 38. Toronto 39. The Wizards at 40. Golden State. As a matter of fact, I'll bring this up on the screen. Golden State at 41. Sacramento at 42. Utah's at 43. OKC at 44. Like they need more guys. Chicago's at 45. Orlando at 46. Milwaukee at 47. Memphis at 48. Cleveland at 49. The Knicks are at 50. The Clippers at 51. Phoenix at 52. Utah at 53. Indiana at 54. Lakers at 55. Memphis at 56. Orlando at 57. Cleveland at 58. And Houston at 59.
So at this point, with the 50th pick, that's 20. That's 20 picks. You know, I would think the Knicks range has to be somewhere within 10 guys that they're targeting. I'm not going to go through 10 guys, but you know what I mean? They would have to give them at least a window of 10 guys and hoping they slide a little bit, they can move up a little bit, and things of that nature. How many picks of those were OKC or anybody that you think would stand out as a potential target of maybe not needing to utilize that pick right now? I definitely think OKC is high on that list where we could potentially you know get a pick from them and give them something down the line. I know they have 15 guys already bless you, 15 guys under contract already. You know what I mean? And a plethora
Remember,
of picks this year.
second round picks aren't guaranteed a contract.
That's true, but even their first round picks might end up they're gonna have to figure something out with those guys.
Yeah, they moved up to get a first round pick, I believe.
Already this year? Okay.
Yeah.
So they might have consolidated to do that and got rid of some.
They drafted excuse me, I'm sorry.
Bless you.
I got
I know allergies. It's that season.
Thomas Sorber from Georgetown at 15. At 15.
And you said they moved up for that?
I thought I saw that they moved up. Maybe they didn't. It's not. It doesn't say that on here, so I guess they didn't.
But yeah, they have a plethora of picks this year. I can't see them, even if they I can see them stashing somebody overseas. But even if they fill two-way spots, they're gonna have to figure out what to do with the guaranteed contracts in the first round.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you can have a guaranteed contract and be on a two-way, right? You can have a guaranteed contract and be in the G League and play in the G League.
Well, yeah, playing the G League, right? Because Dadier had a guaranteed contract and then played in the G League.
But you wouldn't necessarily be a two-way guy. So yeah, I think there's some things they got to figure out.
They drafted 2 guys in the first round.
So yeah, you would assume those guys are staying.
Thomas Sorber and at 15 and Nick Clifford at 24.
Okay. Sorber's good too. But yeah, I like this guy. I encourage you guys to look him up. Jameer Wilkins, that's one of the guys that you said it. A guy in the chat mentioned. So he's a 6'5" guard out of Florida State. 6'5" with a 6'11" wingspan. Going straight to the strengths on this one. Stout defender with excellent frame. who fills the box scores impressively at Florida State. 23 years old. This is a weakness now.
Hmm.
23 years old. Was productive as a secondary ball handler last season, but never been able to find consistency with his outside shot, hitting just 32% from three on a college level. Um, we need shooting. 6'5". I'm gonna look up the tape before I make a decision, but I'm looking for 6'6" and better, and better, right?
I feel you.
Like we got a plethora of small guards. I like the fact that they said he could be a secondary ball handler. I think we do need that as much as possible. Moving forward, but I think the wing, unless he's a knockdown shooter, which we're gonna get to next. I don't. I'm not looking for a wing. I mean, I'm not looking for a guard, a two guard. I'm looking for a wing.
A win. Yeah. Nah, I feel you on that. I mean, guys that can shoot and play defense from that wing position. You know what I mean? You need that.
Um, this next guy is a shooter. He might be the shooter. Where's he at? Oh, did I do something? Kobe, Kobe Barrera. You guys familiar with him, right? All right, here we go. He's out of Kentucky. 6'6". Okay, so now when we talk about 6'6", you gotta be a shooter. You know what I mean? Oh, otherwise, I need somebody with some more size that could play, alongside or give Bridges a spell
Shoot and play defense.
and play defense.
Shoot and play.
Um, well, let me talk about his weakness first. It says as effective he is as a floor spacer, his negative wingspan, average defense, explosiveness limits his role potential. But let's go to the strengths.
Mhm.
Greer has been the best shooter in college basketball over the past two seasons, hitting 47% of his threes while boosting solid physical skill. 6'6", 205. I think his negative wingspan was six, like 2 inches shorter than his size.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
6 or 6'5", you know what I mean, with 6'6" with 6'5" wingspan. But 47% over the last 2 years. I don't think he shot under 40% in his college career.
Mhm.
The best shooter in college basketball. I like this kid a lot. He's projected the 17th pick in the second round. So that's 37. A lot closer to our
A lot closer.
you
Might
know what I
take a
mean?
little
So
less to
pardon
move
me,
up.
47, but a lot closer. So if
47. Yeah, a lot closer.
so OKC got the 44th. We may be able to, talk with them
Yeah,
and,
cash
and
considerations, something.
go ahead and move up. Um, I got one more guy, and then we're
But
gonna get out.
the thing with OKC, man, is like they're the ultimate stash team. Like eh, when you look at their roster, a lot of them, they're a homegrown type of team. You know what I'm saying? They're a homegrown team. They really believe in, let's draft these guys and develop them, grow them and develop them. You know what I mean? That's why they accumulate so many picks. They might, I guess as long as they're still getting a pick,
And,
then
and that's
and then
and
they
that's
can.
what I mean. Like you give them. Hey, again, if the Knicks have a guy that they want and they want to target, maybe they got to give 2 seconds down the road. You know what I mean? To get the guy they want now.
Yeah.
And to me, that helps OKC down the road because what's the difference of stashing a guy or having two picks or another pick later down the road when you might potentially need it? You know, when you
Right.
start paying the guys on your current roster
Right.
their extensions and things of that nature. But yeah, I don't know. If you stashing a guy, you still got to find a space for him later.
Yeah. I mean that's the truth. You still gotta, later on, you gotta find something for him.
Um, should have had one more guy. Let's go with the guy they have us projected to take. Um, Oberch. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. Lachlan. He's a Australian power forward, 6'9", 230 pounds. Let's start with the weaknesses. Without the length to play center at 6'11" or 6'11" wingspan, and lack of floor spacing ability for a power forward, he's somewhat stuck between positions on both ends and doesn't pose great explosiveness to compensate. When we talk about his strengths, he's a throwback big man with strong motor and feel for the game, whose improvement this season helped the Hawks to a NBL championship.
Mhm.
So he played for the NBL, got a championship over there. Oh, nothing really stands out for me with him. 6'11" with a 6'11" wingspan. It's not a pardon me, 6'9" with a 6'11" wingspan. It's still a plus. You know what I mean? It's not anything outstanding. Do we need another power forward that doesn't stretch the floor and isn't necessarily a defender?
Not really. Not
not,
really.
not really.
Nah.
But yeah, maybe there's some bigs out there we could target. Even though I think we're pretty deep at the center position, with Towns being able to play both, Mitchell Robinson still being on the team currently, Huck Porty in the win, waiting to step up into a bigger role. I don't know if center position is the biggest priority.
Mhm.
Now, I don't want to, but if we're trying to upgrade the roster through trade, Mitchell Robinson is probably our biggest asset,
Right.
and then that changes things.
Bridges is
Because
a pretty big asset too because of the ability to extend them,
yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah. I mean,
guys.
individually or collectively, those are our two best
Right.
assets.
Right. Right.
Obviously, Bridges I will put above Mitchell Robinson, but I'm just saying those are the two chunks of a contract that we could put together to bring back
Yeah.
a nice upgrade.
Yeah.
But that's all I got for tonight, Sim. Man, I just I shared the screen with you last night. I said I gotta get back. I gotta get back on it. You know what I mean? The break's over. The off season's here. I was waiting to hope to catch some big news, a signing or something. Actually, last thing before we go,
Hmm.
um, the reports about the Minnesota Timberwolves coach,
Yeah. The assistant coach.
the assistant coach. Um, heard anything about him? Thoughts on him? Uh, would be a first time head coach, but he is one of the few first time head coaches that actually have head coaching experience.
Yes.
And in the playoffs at that, when he took the realm when Minnesota's coach had an injury and couldn't play the sideline. So there is that. Did hear a lot of good things about him, but he does fall under that inexperience category. What's your thoughts on him?
Um, I don't know that much about him. I just feel like, you know, it's a risky sell, I think, for the front office You know, after saying, you know, the goal is the championship, we're bringing in a championship coach to bring in a guy who has little experience. I think it's a risky sell. I think they really gotta say, here's why we think this guy, like Leon Rose is gonna have to address the press and say, here's why we think this guy can help us win a championship. You know
So
what I mean?
we
If not, then most people are gonna look and say, I don't even know who this guy is. He's never even been a long term head coach in the NBA. How's he winning us a championship? Like you're gonna have to spell it out why this guy can win you a championship. What are his characteristics? What are his strengths? And why does he fit this basketball club?
well, we don't got to go into a deep dive, and by all means, if you want to mention it tomorrow with some more detail, um, take the helm. But that statement you read to me earlier from Bondi, it seemed to pinpoint all of the characteristics of what I was hearing this guy brings to the table.
Okay.
Was it a coincidence? You know what I mean? Was it coordinated that Bondi's statements would reflect those same type of characteristics? I thought it was interesting. Um,
Now
and
somebody brought up James Borrego,
hmm,
who's a disciple of Greg Popovich. Someone brought that up on one of a comment, and I think he was out there as a candidate. Um, he's interesting. You
nice
know,
pedigree.
he's got the pedigree. From what I've known, he's cerebral, understands the game. Could be a nice fit. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I guess Leon Rose and them are trying to turn over every stone and are really doing their due diligence to bring in the best coach possible. You know, it doesn't have to be a guy with name recognition for me, but if most people don't know about the guy, you need to address us and say why he's the guy.
I mean, to be honest, I feel like whether it's a name recognition, whether it's obvious or not, I think they need to do that moving
That's true.
forward. Moving
Exactly.
forward,
Yeah.
because at the very least, you want to instill some confidence in that coach, and what better way to do that than to address, why you brought him in and why you feel like he's the guy that can help you reach your singular goal.
Your singular goal, no doubt.
You feel me? Appreciate you, Sim. Shout out to the chat, man. Always jumping in with me and,
Yes, sir.
and supporting. But I'm back now, man. So Mondays, you know what I mean. As long as I'm off, I'm doing the show, and if not, whatever day I'm off, I'm doing something. So let's go Knicks, and we got to see who we draft tomorrow. Sim, if I make the show, I I can, but I know I'm gonna be at work. If
Yeah,
it's a late night show, I'll be on with you.
I'm gonna be doing a show. It's gonna be a late night show. I'm gonna be doing a show. Well, I'm gonna stream during the draft and then talk a little bit about whatever happened, and then I'm hitting the road on my way to Rochester.
No doubt.
On the
Tell
road.
me again. I said Pete's.
I let her know.
Shout out to the chat, man. Until next time, your blackest time. Replay gang, silent listeners. Appreciate y'all as well. We out.